everyone, so it's favourites time again, and I think it was only the video before last that I uploaded my last month's favourites, so I've been a bit slacking on the filming this month. That's really naughty of me, so sorry about that. So I have all my favourites laid out in front of me, and I also have a little extra favourite, which is kind of a favourites prediction, so I'm pretty sure I'll be loving this throughout the whole of the next month, which is November, but I just wanted to show you today because I recently got it and it's just beautiful. It deserves to be shown. So if you're living in England at the moment, you're probably experiencing the same grumpy, miserable weather as I am. So I've been really trying to get a bit of summer back and really amp up the bronze in my skin. So I've been using a little bit of fake tanner, a bit of bronzer, nothing too much, but just trying to get a bit more of a warm glow when it's so grey and miserable outside. One of my favourite really quick and easy self tanners is the Clarins Instant Smooth Self Tanning, and this actually works as a primer too, so you can literally put it on before your makeup and then it develops throughout the day, so you don't have to sit there for a couple of hours waiting for it to actually work. You can just get on with whatever you have to do and not worry about it. It's actually the same formula as their just regular Instant Smooth Primer, I think it's called, so it's got a really silky texture. It does actually really help to smooth out kind of any pores, any little things that you want to cover up. The thing I do like about this though is it gives a really nice warm natural colour. It's not got much kind of orange pigment to it, it just gives a really nice browny bronze shade, but it isn't a really in your face instant dark colour. It does take a few days to kind of build up, but I like that because you have a bit more control of what you're getting out of it. So as well as that, I've also been using this, which I have actually wanted for so long, and I'm so glad I finally managed to acquire one, and this is the Guerlain Terracotta Sheer Bronzing Powder, and it's made up of just these really pretty different colours. There's probably about 4 or 5 different shades in there, and you just swirl your brush around and it gives such a warm glow, but because it is quite sheer, it really, you can't put too much on. It takes a lot to kind of build it up, which is nice because again you get more control. You're never going to end up looking too bronzed. Although I haven't tried any others but this one, I think Guerlain just are amazing for bronzers. Whenever I look at their counters, everything that they do in the bronze range just stand out to me. So this one I'm really enjoying using. Just smell a bit funny, it kind of smells a bit like Chanel No. 5, but never mind. So recently I did a post all about my Muji storage, which you can kind of see in the back there behind my pretty flowers. I'm trying to pretend it's not actually autumn by getting the flowers out. But I was talking about how I had so much makeup and I just needed to organise everything, so I packed it all up into a nice little stack of Muji drawers, and I actually found quite a few new things that were hidden in the depths of my makeup collection that I've been using quite a lot this month. This is the Chanel Vitalumiere Aqua Foundation, and I bought this quite a while ago when it was getting quite hyped and everybody was loving it as their real sheer go-to foundation, and at the time I was all about the full coverage. I didn't like sheer foundations at all, so I'm not quite sure why I bought it, so it kind of got chucked to the back of the stash really. I didn't get much use out of it then, but now recently I've been kind of preferring that more natural lightweight coverages. I tend to go for more like tinted moisturisers and light foundations these days. I actually found it again and I just tried it out and I really like the formula of it. It's got a really glowy finish, so it gives so much radiance, and I think as it is, you know, getting a bit grey outside, radiance is always nice to have in your skin. As with all foundations from Chanel, it just does not have brilliant lasting power, but I find if I set this with a bit of my Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder, then it does stay for pretty much the whole day without having to touch it up. So the last makeup favourite I have here is something I feel like I actually get out every single autumn. It's like a standard go-to autumn lip colour, and this is the Kate Moss for Rimmel lipstick in 107. I think it's actually called Wine, although it's not printed on the bottom there, but this is from her range for Rimmel. This is the matte one, so the red packaging, which I actually prefer to the ones in the black packaging. I find those are a bit too greasy, whereas these have a nice matte but moisturising finish to them. I think the reason that I always have this on hand, that I'm always wearing it in autumn, is just because it's the perfect berry burgundy colour. It's not too purple, it's not too red, just sits really nicely in between, and it's a really easy shade to wear. I think some people get a bit scared of wearing a dark kind of deep lipstick, but this is so flattering on any skin tone, and I just find it really kind of quick and easy to pop on if you want a bit of an autumn look. While we're on the subject of lips, I have been finding that I'm suffering with really dry lips at the moment, and it's just because of the weather, probably because I don't drink enough water as well, but I've been using these two products quite a lot more than I usually do, and this is the Lush Popcorn Scrub. I think these scrubs from Lush are brilliant. They just last forever and they're so handy to have. You can literally just keep it by your sink or even in your bag and just scrub it on every morning, and it just takes any of that excess dead skin off. It just gives them a bit of a boost, gets the blood flowing back into them. This also smells and tastes amazing, even though I try not to eat it because it's full of kind of dead lip cells once you've used it. But I know a lot of people prefer the bubblegum flavour, which is the pink pink one, but for me that's just way too sweet. But this is kind of sweet and salty, kind of popcorn flavour. So after that, I've been using the Nuxe Reve lip balm absolutely religiously, probably like 5 or 6 times a day, as much as I possibly can when I remember to. This is pretty much the only lip balm for me now. I absolutely love it. I was in Space NK the other day and I did try out the Vitalumiere Balm de Rose, which I've kind of been thinking about purchasing, even though it's like a £35 lip balm, which is just insane. But it just didn't feel as nice as this one does. It's so moisturising. It just gets right deep down into the layers of my lips, I find. It doesn't leave any dryness, it just gets rid of any chapping and things like that. So this stuff I've been layering on a daily basis, and these two are a really great little combination, I think, if you're suffering from dry lips. So another thing that I've been suffering with a little bit this month is my skin, and it's kind of really awkward because it's cold outside now, so I'm getting quite dehydrated skin. It's getting a lot drier, but I've also been breaking out a little bit on my cheeks here, being really like concentrated on the apples of my cheeks, which just looks really, really strange. So I'm not sure why that is. Possibly a reaction to a blusher. I will have to investigate that further. So I've been trying to find a mask that is going to kind of just help take all the blemishes down but not dehydrate my skin too much. And I actually picked up this Aesop Parsley seed mask when I was in London at the beginning of the month. It is quite a deep cleansing mask, but I find it's a lot more gentle on my skin than other clay-based masks, so it's not quite as stripping, but it does really get to work at clearing out all the pores. So I've been using this quite a lot on my cheeks at the moment, a little bit on my forehead and chin as well, just putting on a really thin layer about once or twice a week, maybe a bit more if I'm feeling like I really need it. But I found it's just really helped to soothe all those little blemishes and things down, but it hasn't dried out my skin any more than it actually is at the moment. So this month I've been really getting into using body lotions. I've been trying to use them at least once a day all over, and there's a couple that I've discovered that I really, really like. So the first one is the Origins Ginger Cloud Smoothing Body Balm, and I cannot even tell you how good this smells. It just smells like ginger. It's really, really fresh, invigorating, a little bit sweet but not too much, but when I put this on it just lasts all day long. It's like wearing a perfume, and it really sinks in, it really warms up the fragrance, so it's a really kind of nice spicy warm scent to it. But even when I use this and then walk out the room and come back, the room smells of it, so it's quite a powerful one, but it's really nice and light. It sinks in quite easily, so you don't have to worry about waiting for it to dry down, but it is really, really moisturising too. For something a little bit richer though, I've been using the, just wait to hear me pronounce this, LOccitain Creme Allergie Firming and Resculpting Shaping Delight Cream, and this is actually from their Almond range, I think. So I always use their almond shower oil, that's one of my favourites, and this kind of goes together. It's got the same kind of scent to it, but I find it is really, really rich, but it still doesn't feel overly greasy. I don't like it when I have to just wait for hours and hours for my skin to really dry down once I've moisturised it, but it goes on really silky, really light. It's got quite a gel texture to it, but I do find that it feels quite firming, quite kind of tightening as well, which is a really kind of nice feeling. It really feels like all that moisture just gone in and is staying there. I've got two nail varnishes here that I'll just quickly talk about because I forgot about them. This is Essie's Soulmate and Nail Zinc Shirt and Street, and these two have been stuck on my nails all month. This is your typical kind of berry tone. It's a bit more purpley than reddy, but a really nice kind of deep colour. And then this one is something that I kind of got quite recently, but I've been really, really enjoying using. I didn't think I would. It's very, very pastel-y. It's kind of like a bluey grey. It's quite cool tone, so a bit icy, quite wintry, but I've been really enjoying using kind of pastel nail varnish as well as more of a berry tone this autumn. So last favourite is a fragrance, and I feel like I was kind of in a bit of a rut with fragrances. I have so many, and I just never really use them. Whenever I open the drawer up to look at them, nothing stood out to me. I didn't really feel like wearing anything, and I got this one recently. This is the Devotee Verio. This is actually their old packaging. It was on sale, so I got it for £20, which is for the full size. I think they're usually about 60 or 70, so that was a bargain, even though it does annoy me slightly that it's in the old packaging, but that's just vlogger problems. Now, I'm absolutely terrible at describing fragrances, so I actually came prepared today, and I have the notes written down here for me. So they are mandarin, grapefruit, lemon, bergamot, ylang ylang, Turkish rose, geranium, vetiver, carrot seeds, nutmeg, apricot, clove, cedar and mask. So it is quite a kind of deep musky smell, but it has that citrusy lemony scent in it, which just lifts mix it up, and I thought it would be maybe a bit too heavy to wear every day, but I have been really enjoying it. It kind of sinks down and it warms up and it just becomes kind of one with your skin, if that makes sense. So it's not overpowering at all. It just sits really nicely, but it gives you a nice kind of warm scent, and it is the type of fragrance that you can actually smell on yourself, and I do really prefer that, because when I find fragrances just disappear, although other people might be able to smell them, it kind of annoys me that I'm not getting my money's worth and being able to smell it. So this has been my go-to fragrance, and it's such a massive bottle. I'll probably be wearing it for the next couple of months. So those are all my favourites rounded up for you, and then I also have my little extra thing that I just had to show you, my prediction for next month's favourites. And this is the NARS One Night Stand palette, and I'm sure you will know what this is by now. People have been going on and on about it. I actually heard about it 5 days ago, I think it was Thursday. I saw it all over Twitter, and then I went to look on the Space NK website, which is actually exclusive to, and it was on pre-order, and I have never in my life pre-ordered any makeup item. I don't think I've even pre-ordered anything before, maybe Harry Potter when I was like 12 or something like that. But this is basically a limited edition palette. It's from their holiday collection, and it's in collaboration with Guy Bourdin, who is a photographer, I think, but it's got 6 shades in here. I think it's 3 of their just core collection shades, and then 3 extra ones that have been added just for this little palette. It really frustrates me that the names aren't listed on the back, because I really have no idea what they're all called. I do have it written down somewhere, but I can't actually remember. But this is Devotee, I think, which is a really pretty kind of glowing highlighter, and then they have Orgasm, which is kind of standard for all the palettes, which I think is kind of an odd thing to do, because if you're a NARS kind of fan or a collector and you do get a lot of their palettes, you're going to end up with so many different ones with Orgasm in it, which is kind of annoying. But then they have Lagoon here as well, which is their standard cult bronzer, and then I think this is Deep Throat, and then I'm not too sure what the other 2 are called, but they're really pretty. This bright pink one has actually been my favourite so far, which is strange because I'm not usually one for a bright pink blush, but it's quite soft and subtle once it's on your cheeks. But I know that this will be the only thing I'll be wearing for the next couple of months, probably till next year. So I just wanted to pop that in there as well. I'm sure this will appear in so many people's favourites next month, so we'll wait and see for that. So I hope you enjoyed watching that. That was my October favourites, and again, I'm sorry for the delay in filming. I will get back to a proper schedule soon, I promise, but I will see you on my next video.